Okay, y'all. I channel a lot of shit. Behind closed doors, I channel a lot of shit, y'all. But I don't really make videos about it. One second. I rarely. No, y'all didn't see that. I'm trying to bulk up, you feel me? I rarely make videos about channeling. And it's not about channeling. This is my channel. And channeling is what spirit gives me. It's the messages I get from the ether. If you don't understand, it's not for you. But I just channeled Drake and Kendrick Lamar in the whole big idea. So this is what it is. So you know how Super Bowls look kind of like cathedrals from Romans. The Roman cathedrals look very similar to the Super Bowl, right? Y'all know that. So tell me how Super Bowls and cathedrals are not just place where people meet up, people social network, people do business, where people go to social network and other things and that and the third. It's a spell. We all know how if you are smart and you are aligned and you are enlightened and you have woken up, this will wake you up as well if you haven't. But if you have woken up, you know how Super Bowls are the same as Roman cathedrals with the gladiators and enslaved people who are having to fight for their freedom, and they're put in this thing to fight for the people, while the cathedral itself is the center for people to meet, to socialize, to come into to distract them from what's going on elsewhere. So the Super Bowl is the same way. People go there, and the black people and the slaves, they are there because they are football athletes who aren't most of them weren't actually able to make it in life. So they became a football player, athlete. They used their physical abilities because other things in life didn't help as much. So they are able to make more money playing football, basically. So that's most definitely enslavement, because you are contracted. Anytime you are contracted, that's a agreement of losing power or gaining power. So enough of that. You know how those things are actually energy centers. And it's a spell work. It's a spell casting to get people to be distracted from what's going on in the world. And it gets people from revolting against the shit that the government or the country is really supposed to be focused on, but they are not focused on that. So when people are getting angry, they have a annual Super Bowl. And what it is they are extracting that negative energy out of you. But the thing is, they need that negative energy. The people, I wouldn't say the people, the entities and the spirits. There are spirits and entities who are harnessing your energy based off how you feel, based off where you go, based off what you think. And they need negative energy, preferably negative energy. So that's why they need you mad. They need you angry. They need you in fear. Fear, they love the fear tastes really good to them. They need you worrying. They need you in anxiety, depression, and all these lower vibrational thoughts, thought frame of thoughts, thought of mind, where however you want to put it. So basically, to sum it up, I'll go back to how Kendrick Lamar and Drake is like the Super Bowl. And the Super Bowl is like a big ass battery because you have negative energy and positive energy. You have energy going against each other and it's creating negativity because you have one team and you have another team. You have one side, you have this side and you have that side. And they're all going against each other and it's creating a whole power of negativity of millions of people, of hundreds and thousands of people who are hoping that the other team loses. You get me? Putting us against each other, and that creates negativity that they can cipher. And the best way to get for the spirit, the best tactic that these spirits use is the truth. It's the truth. Because the truth will bring out the things that you've been lying about, that you're anxiety about, that you are scared that will come to the open, to public, to the open eye. The things that you don't want people to know, you'll get mad if that's exposed. You'll get mad. You'll get angry. You'll have a lower vibrational frequency that's able to be harnessed by these spirits. And guess what? These spirits are possessing these people. So that if me, say a guy like me tells you the truth, tells you a hard truth, like a truth like the government is really using us as blank checks so that they can use our social security number that we're born off of just to keep them the richest country of all. And that's really a lie because they are forcefully going out into other countries and taking their children, taking their women, importing some of them to America and taking their land for resources. People would get mad about that. Oh, I'm in the government. I work for the government, or I'm in the army. We work for I've been in the army. We're saving lives, quote unquote. People will get mad, and that will trigger anger. And that's when they harness your energy. That's why it's not good to that's why it's not good to reply to negative that's why sometimes it's not good to reply to negative comments, because those are actually spirits who are trying to suck your energy dry. Because if you respond to something negative with a negative, it doesn't create a positive. It creates more negativity. And that's what they need, more negativity, because that's how they survive, off negativity. So this what ties back to Kendrick Lamar and Drake. There's a side against a side. It's so much of spell work. If you believe it, you don't have to see it to believe it. It's so much spell work here. Because think about it like this. Kendrick Lamar, well known. People, ignorant people know him. Gangbangers know him. Thugs know him. So that's plus negative energy. And Drake, OVO, 666, YOLO, You Only Live Once, The Owl, connected to Bohemian Grave. That's a lot of negative energy. Those energies are going against each other. And guess what? That'll only create more negativity. And guess what they let Kendrick Lamar do? Perform at the Super Bowl. So what this is going to do is they're trying to start off 2025 on a bad note. To be blunt. They're trying to start off 2025 on a bad note. They're trying to start off 2025 with negativity so they can keep us in this state of mind, so they can keep us controlled, so they can keep us underdeveloped, so they can keep us in fear, anxiety, anger, depression, stress, going to work, not wanting to work, having to deal with people asking for dumb shit, having to deal with poverty, having to deal with looking at broke people, having to feel sorry, keeping us in these lower paradigms because you have bums on the street. That's not to show you where you're gonna be if you don't do that in the third. That's to keep you in line. Because it's gonna train your mind to be like, if I'm like that, then that's the lower I can go. That's the worst I can be. So at least me slaving, going to work, stressing my ass off is better than that. They're gonna keep that cycle. They need these bums on the street. They need people being poor. They need the poor. The rich needs the poor. So that they can stay rich. There's no middle class. If you are slaving, if you are working a 9 to 5, no offense, you are poor. If you have an apartment, you are poor. We are the poor class. There's no middle class. There's only rich and poor. But think of it like this. That's the mind. That's the mind playing games. That's them trying to control us, to keep us in this matrix, to make us believe that it's either work for them or have nothing. So Kendrick Lamar has all this money. He can't spend it on nothing that he owns. He can't spend it on, he can't make his own currency. He can't make his own bank. He can't own his own land. He can't do these things because he's getting money from people who needs him to put out an agenda. If he put out the wrong agenda, they will not pay him. They will send him to jail. They will assassinate him. They will frame him as a child molester or some type of person that will need to be in jail because they need this image of keep the poor poor and keep the rich rich. And this is what keeping these spirits, these negative entities, this is what keeps them alive. Because Kendrick Lamar, he's in fear right now. He don't want to do this. Trust me, he don't want to do this. He don't want to do this for the Super Bowl. Because he know. Nigga, Kendrick Lamar once upon a time supported Colin Kaepernick. You know who that is. He don't want to do this for no fucking football. He don't. He has to. Even if Kendrick Lamar don't care about the money anymore, he has money stashed away. He don't have to, it's not about the money anymore for Kendrick. He has to do it because he signed his soul away. He has to put on the front. He has to keep on going on stage. He has to keep doing this. And Drake, he was just a ploy. Drake is basically a puppet to get y'all to look at Kendrick Lamar. And Kendrick Lamar dissed Drake because that is publicity. That is hella publicity. What they're doing is they're saying, hey, don't just look at Drake, look at him. Hey, don't look at him, look at Drake. That's what they're doing. And what they're doing is, what Kendrick Lamar is doing is, hey, go to the Super Bowl. Hey, go to the Super Bowl, Kendrick Lamar. Hey, he's a child molester. Hey, stay negative. Hey, be mad. You can't control yourself. We control you. So when Kendrick Lamar says you're not like us, you say you're not like us. Aren't you mad at us? So now that you think that Kendrick Lamar, he's saying you're not like us because we're black and you're white. Do you see what's going on here? Do you see the hypocrisy? Are you blind? Yes, you are. Because you go to work and you come home and you do nothing else. And when you go to work, you're not thinking, I want to change the world. You're thinking, I want to pay Uncle Sam. I have to pay Uncle Sam. When I have children, I'll make them pay Uncle Sam. We have to pay Uncle Sam. If you want to be alive, you have to pay Uncle Sam. And anybody who goes against that, we will not pay no attention. We'll fake pay attention to them. We'll not give them any support. We won't tell them. We won't admit that they've been telling the truth the whole time. Even if I'm going through this stress, even if I'm waking up mad as fuck, even if I'm blaming people for shit that I do, even if I'm being a hypocrite, even if I'm mad at shit that I cannot control, even if I'm angry at shit that's out of my control, we still have to blame our children. We still have to blame the victims. It's the victims' fault because they're the victims. It's because they're so-called letting it happen to them. We're not gonna blame the people who's doing it to us. We're not gonna blame the government for raising our taxes, for raising gas prices, for coming up with these dumbass laws. We're not gonna blame them. We're just gonna ask them to pay us more and hope for the end of the month to be a good month. But our children, you are a bitch. You are broke. You are a bum. You are a lazy bastard because you don't want to work for the government. That's what they'll do, y'all. Tap in.